Another episode of Keeping It Essential. We got Primo, Day, and our special guest, Tariq.
What's up, y'all? It's been a minute. We miss you guys, making content, making videos for you guys. Hope everyone's been doing well. We got some real nice footage that you guys are about to see of some real life stuff. So, seize your eyes. It's going to be dope. Enjoy the ride.
What up, y'all? It's Day. It's been a minute. Hope y'all ain't forget about us. We coming though. More episodes will come, for sure.
What's up, you guys? I'm out here visiting from college. Came out to Arizona. Let's get into it. Let's talk some life.
Alright, boys. So we always have like long points in our life, low points is which I meant. And life gets hard, but like the thing is like you always kind of gotta strive through it. But like my question is like when you were at your lowest point in life, did someone ever leave you, and how did that affect you? I'll start with Tariq.
So you're saying how did people leave me? So
no, don't say examples, but
okay.
Let's say you're at your lowest point in life and you felt like everybody left you. How is that feeling?
I would say you feel just very alone. It's almost like you're by yourselves. You're by yourself in the dark, and no one's around with you. So yeah. It's you can't even look for help from anybody because they all basically just left you. So you're kind of just in your mind thinking, okay, what do? I gotta man up. What's my next step here?
Yeah, shit gets tough. What do you guys gotta say?
Honestly, I feel like everyone's been there, maybe if you realize it or not, but there's just been times where you either convince yourself that people aren't messing around with you and that left you and took it another way, or you maybe haven't. But from what I've experienced, I felt just very alien to the community because I just didn't feel like people were vibing with me and stuff like that. And but there's always those real ones, and you always got your family, and I never let that affect me. And then at the end of the day, everything just comes back. And this was a younger point in my life, so a lot of hormones, emotions are flowing through it in us and stuff, so
yeah,
it's my experience.
For me, I'd say the feeling is just a really bad dream, because you feel it's not real. You feel everything was good before, and now it's just no one's there for you. So it's kind of like you just want to get out of the dream,
Yeah. Shit gets tough.
My boy getting philosophical. Nah, I like the way he put it though. That's facts, because a dream, you could have dreams multiple times and stuff, but a moment, really, you can't have that moment back. The dream, you can't really have that dream back. Maybe you'll have a little 2.0 version or whatever, deja vu. But that's facts, for real.
Yeah, shit gets tough. I remember at one point in my life, I was really down. I don't know why. Something just had happened, and I felt everybody that I knew was just away, and it was just me. But it also taught me that I could be with only myself and still be satisfied. I don't need anybody else. I don't have to depend on anybody else. All I have is myself, and I don't need anybody.
Yeah. That's where self-growth,
I would say, yeah, self-growth.
honestly plays in a big role.
I don't know. I feel when you're alone, it's it's a good thing. It can be a good thing, but it'll also be a bad thing.
Yeah, it could be terrible.
It can I can remember times of I don't know. You go through a lot of ups and downs in life, and it's there's always going to be times where, you're at the bottom, you're wondering what to do, and being alone could be really hard because you're with your thoughts all day.
Yeah.
It's when you're with friends or you're going out parties, you're with your boys, kind of makes you forget about everything that's going on. And then eventually when you're by yourself, it's okay, all the thoughts come back. You might start getting stressed. You might get, fall into depression, but, it's up and down thing.
It's you're always talking to yourself. You don't have anybody to talk to but yourself, and it kind of drives you this way. No, that happened to me. I'm so good at talking to myself that it's just it's at this point I know everything.
Yeah, I feel that. No, I relate to that honestly, but how I like to cope with things, and just whether it's an up and down in life, it's just all through God, because I just put everything in His hands, because at the end of the day I feel everyone has a purpose, and the chances of us coming into this world are so slim. Just how many sperm little things going into that, and just it's like I think there's a bigger picture, and and it's been helping me a lot because honestly I don't seem to be coming down a lot with like my emotions, and when something happens I always look at it like a lesson, or I look at it like just something good for me to learn.
Take something away from it every time you're at your lowest, and it helps you for the next time you get down again.
Most
like
definitely,
you take something
right?
away from it every time. Helps you build as a person.
And then, hey, we're human. We're not perfect. Yeah, exactly. It may happen again, but I do believe that the chances are really good of not having it happen again if you learn your lesson, right? But it's gonna happen. That's life.
Yeah. That's what life is at the end of the day.
Exactly.
It's like, you have your bad moments, you have your good moments. Like, what are you gonna do about it? You can't do much about it.
Just learn from it.
Exactly.
Bounce back.
Bounce back, yeah, of course. Alright, this is like a deep question.
Marvin's room type?
Nah, I wouldn't say it in that matter, but if I asked you, who are you? Like, behind the face, in the mind, who is Adrian Primo? Who is Tariq? Who are you? Who would you say you are?
Love that question, bro.
Yeah, that's a hard question.
Yeah, it's a lot of thought into the question, and like just for someone to ask that and stuff, like it's a good question, bro. For real. Hey, y'all gonna see he's keeping the questions coming left to right, get you right.
You want me to start it off?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I would say like you said, like who are you as a person? I would say like it's something that like I'm still figuring out. Because it's like you might think at a time you know who you are, and then something happens, and then you're going back to the drawing board basically and trying to figure out what you want to do, especially with like what you want to do in life.
Fair
it's
enough.
Like you want to you're trying to figure out what are you good at, what's like going to be your purpose in life, and I feel like that's what I've been going through a lot lately,
or
especially with college.
If I said like, who are you, and you were like Tariq is like a good guy, kind-hearted, like down to earth person, like how would you like describe yourself in a way
I would say
like you think about?
Okay, I would say like the way I act with my friends is like all the same. I would say like I like to be goofy and just like myself. Like I like just talking to people, getting to know everybody. I've noticed I like to be with people more than I like to be with myself right now. Like being with other people makes me happy.
Yeah.
I would say like, I'm very into fashion, like I try and be artistic. It's kind of like what I love to do. Kind of like to do things my own way instead of just, going with the norm of college. That's like one thing I would say is like I'm trying to do things my own way and find what I want to do.
Yeah, I like that.
Respect, bro, for real. No, it's a good question. And I was kind of thinking when you're talking, multitasking, listening to you, I was like, damn, because there's a lot of times that, we get too caught up in this real life that, you don't take that time to like self-reflect and ask those questions, Yeah. But I feel like, just being me, I feel like, I'm just pretty ambitious, and I just just love like seeing people happy and shit, and like that's why I enjoy not trying to make people laugh, but me, just that's how I am, and like seeing like it put a smile on people's face and stuff, and like because it's like I see how dark it is when people are like at a low, and when people are pretty lost, and and it's like I try to do what I could do, and God gave me, I say like a talent to be able to like speak a little bit and get to know people and stuff like that, and that's how it tied down to like middle school, because I was even telling them earlier because we were talking about real life stuff, and I was saying like I would always like go on my way to like get in contact and have a conversation with people that weren't really talked to, and like like special needs and stuff, and I actually enjoy it because everyone's human, and they have their side also that that just is awesome, and you really see it, and it humbles you, and it's an amazing thing. I feel like they're called special needs for a reason, because they are special, in a good way, the heart and everything,
Yeah.
For real.
I like that a lot. I like that.
So.
That's good, bro.
How about you, Dan?
For me, I'd say like I'm just like he said, I'm me, bro. I'd say I'm like a kind-hearted person. Like, I'm outgoing, like funny, charismatic. Like, I could keep going, but I'd say like the top three, like, just probably being like understanding, and like loyal, and probably just
Goofy.
funny, goofy.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
Dude, everyone loves that, for real.
Would you say like what you like? You know, like when you meet people, it's like there's that persona of you. Would you say that what people see is what they get with you guys, or is there like another side?
It depends on the person. The more time you spend with someone, I feel like they're gonna see, you know, who you are, because, you know, everyone says they're themselves, but they act a different way when meeting someone, you know. Yeah, you could be yourself, but you know, you're not as, you know,
maybe more guarded up.
You know, right? You're not as comfortable, right? You just met the person, so, you know, but yeah.
I'd say they get like a third, bro.
A third of what you really are.
Of course, yeah.
And like the more comfortable I get, like the more like I'm more of myself, and more like the actual person that like all of you guys know.
Right, of course.
So
right. Yeah, no,
You always get a different side. I have like one side for like myself and like whatever, and then I got a side for like people who I don't know, and I'm just like, alright.
Okay. But that,
it's nice because then like I hold a secret from everybody, like
keep it to like,
exactly.
Yeah,
nobody is ever going to ruin that because only I know.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean with it.
It's nice, but at the same time, like, it sounds like crazy. It sounds like weird, but like it's so nice.
I mean, the more people know about your business, the more, you know, you're in people's mouths, and it's just like, you know, it's always better to move low key, and with the real ones go and check in, you go and check in on the, you know, and it's gonna be like that, but in the long run, you know.
It's always nice to have like that secrecy or like mystery. I feel like a lot of people say like having that mystery to you, it's nice. You don't want to have all your information out. You don't want people knowing who you are exactly. You want to always keep it a mystery and have that piece to yourself. And if you want to let other people join in and know who you are, then it's something special that only those few people will, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, that's dope. Now, if I asked you, what is the most amount of pain that you've been in, but it's not physical?
You say emotionally, or just like how you're doing?
Yeah, any pain that is not actually like.
Hey, we got the tissue.
But it's not like like piercing you, like in that kind of pain. It's more like.
I would say it's like a pain.
Dreadful.
Yeah, I would say like sometimes like people ask me like how to describe that pain that you're going through when it's like mentally, internally, just like going through yourself. And I always like to tell people like, even like if like parents or someone asks me, it's hard to describe that feeling to like other people of like what you're going through. Like I would say like, even like right now, I'd say like I'm going through, you know, I got my own things I'm going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it's hard to get through it, but it's like it's hard to describe it to other people because only you really understand it.
Because it's like it's your own problem that you're trying to solve.
Yeah, and it's like it's a daily thing right now, especially like we're all like 19, we're all young, there's a lot of things going through our minds, what we want to do, it's a stressful time. So I'd say like right now especially, it's like, you know, just going through a lot of pain and just trying to deal with it.
Yeah.
Figure out what you want to do.
That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah, I know a lot of, pain, you know, besides the song from my boy Day 100 Unreleased coming soon. Hey, no
little shout out, little shout out.
That's released.
But released, you feel me? But honestly, it's probably when I was at a really low point in my life, younger, you know, pretty lost and stuff, and I just felt like, you know, you let it loose, you gotta let it loose, wham, right? But like after once you let it loose, like it feels good, and like, you know, it's
good to let it go.
Just slowly, like, you know,
dude, people make that stigma. You know what I mean?
And
like,
that's what keeps
like,
it.
Don't cry and stuff.
And also,
like
right.
I'll admit, like, you know, it's good to release it. They would tell you that.
Also, you know, getting it off your chest and talking to a close one is always the best one, because a close friend, a real friend's always gonna understand. Whether it's, they're not gonna judge you. If it's whether you eat or you eat tuna with peanut butter, like they're not gonna judge you and stuff. You know what I mean? So
exactly. But it's hard. It is very hard.
Yeah, it is. It's part of life, though.
Yeah, it's something I feel like you always have to learn. It's a constant learn. Like, it's never going to go away. It's just how you deal with it. But, I mean, what can you expect? Like, there's always going to be problems in life.
Yeah, that's true.
There's always bigger problems,
Is there something, like, scary to you that you have to, like, realize? Like,
what would you mean by that?
Let's say you're terrified. Like, what is something terrifying to you that, like, is gonna, like, that you just, like, have to accept? Like, let's say for me, my biggest fear is dying.
I just said that, yeah.
That?
He looked at me like crazy.
It is, to me, that is the craziest thing ever to me. Like, every day, like, going to bed, like, I have times, like, I'm not gonna lie, where, like, I could picture, like, me dying.
Oh, shit.
Or, like, I could think about, like, me dying or, like, my family dying. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I always tell myself, like, what am I gonna do, let's say, if my mom was to ever pass away? And then I start to, like, in my head, I'm like, dude, like, this is bad. Like, I can't sleep. Like,
yeah.
It gets to that point, and, like, but, like, you also hear death is a beautiful thing. So, I also... Like, after nights like that, I have to pray, and then I have to...
Get right with the Lord.
Exactly, and it helps. It helps a ton.
Exactly, brother.
It does.
Exactly.
It allows me to sleep, but... Like,
you see, and...
Death, you have to accept. So something like in that matter...
Yeah.
What is your answer?
I would say I talked to Primo, actually, about this recently, because for some reason, this last couple of weeks... just been very stressed, and for some reason death's been something that's been on my mind a lot lately.
Yeah.
And like even being back home, I've been just able to like, just take a step back and look at my family, and I just started thinking like, what would I do if I lost my parents?
You gotta appreciate.
Every second I'm with them, and being able to be back home now that I came back from college and spending extra time with them. I'm appreciating every day I'm with them, because like parents, Primo knows that like health isn't like their best right now. Yeah. So now it's more of like, it's like just preparing for when it happens, because people gotta
prayers.
Exactly. People gotta understand that it's gonna happen eventually. Even like I told Primo, like Virgil passing away, like you never know how much time you have. It doesn't matter who you are. Everyone's that clock's gonna run out eventually. So it's like you gotta be at peace with yourself, and honestly, God, for me, my own religion, I feel like that's what helps me at night. Especially lately, because I've been having trouble sleeping due to that.
It's hard. Honestly. It's hard.
And the thing, you'll see how much more the connection with God grows as the more you pray and read the Bible, just because I've been able to see it for myself, being, a believer since, young, because my household, and especially my grandma, and like I've noticed at times when I'm not as connected with the Lord, that like things kind of getting out of place, getting a little lost, and then he just puts in a little path for you, you know what I mean? If you just gotta trust the process, and nothing's gonna get handed to you unless you get a little scratcher and hit for big, right? But if you put that dedication and all that, and it's meant for you, I believe he could,
by all means, do it.
For me, it's like, I'd say failure, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's just because, like, I refuse to lose, like, and that's been like that my whole life. And, like, I've failed a lot of times, like, and, like, it's been something that I had to get used to, but, like, there was a point where, like, I was so scared of, like, failing at something that, like, I would go to, like, the extreme to, like, make sure I didn't fail,
Yeah. And it's like, you have to accept that failure is always going to happen. Yeah. You're always going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna hit every so often, but you're going to fail a million times.
Yeah.
That's probably what you do.
Any big business owner or whatever you want to call it that has big money tells you that, you know, there was more failures than wins where it got me to where I'm at, you know, and that's how it is, you know, because it's just how it is.
Yeah.
You gotta look at patterns and all that, and everyone says that that's made it, right? Unless you're, you know, given a handout or whatever, right? But, you know, even then, you know.
I feel like it's I feel like now, well, think of it, we're all still 19, right? But we're all stressed about failure. But I feel like it's the way society is now, where we're seeing everyone younger.
Gotta fail now.
They're very successful, or we feel, a lot of people tell me they're 19, they feel like, oh, they have to have made it already.
Mm-hmm.
But they feel like I've
just because they see other people.
Just because you see, you know, things on social media that makes it seem like, oh, if you don't have like this amount of money, a car, a house at this age, like you failed. And that's how I thought for a little while. And then I realized, you know, we're still 19. There's people who didn't make it till they were 35, 40, older.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You never know when it's going to be your time, but you got to keep going through those battles to make it, honestly.
That's how I was with
Facts,
like
bro.
my music. I was like, damn, like I'm 19 and I still like I'm not really like where I want to be. And there's been times where I'm like, damn, I want to just quit, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like I know there's rappers that are like 40 that are still barely making
No,
it.
yeah, no, it's all about the passion, you know, especially with music. You know, you gotta love it, and, you know, I'm able to say it because that's the, like, freestyle every, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just have it within me, you know what I mean? Like, surround myself with it, and that's how I know I love it, because I don't get tired of it, but sometimes I do, and then it's like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I've been coming to that realization too, bro, that, you know, you just gotta trust the process, and I feel like we did the best thing we could do, as in build our sound for so many years before taking off, because I feel like we know our sound now, you know, our catalog.
That's the foundation of
Yep,
everything.
exactly. So why put yourself out there when you're kind of, you know, not so good?
Now you know like who you are, what you sound like.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
more just trying to make more of
that same sound.
Yep.
Would you say it's hard to, like, you know how people say it's like you gotta, you know, stay on everything, grind every single day, but I think people have to realize, you know, I bet we've all had times with things where, you know, we're on a roll, we're doing something consistently, and then you have those days where you kind of fall off. I feel like a lot of these things is about being able to get back on it and like continue to do it, because everyone's gonna have those days where they stop, whether it's like work, you're pursuing something with a podcast, music, working out, you gotta be willing to just stay consistent.
Right.
That's the biggest thing I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And it's keeping motivation, because without you
that's a
stopping
big
is you not having motivation, and, you know, and that's where, you know,
you got
friends
you can
and
do
the
anything.
influence come around, because I've been able to see it from friends that, you know, don't ever talk about that real life, you know, stuff, no motivation, nothing, don't have, you know, a vision for anything, you know, you're gonna be like that because the majority are gonna be like that, and then I've seen friend groups where it's like vice versa, you know what I mean, and it's just, you know, that's the biggest thing, honestly, to allow you to keep going, because you start thinking, you know, my brother's going in, I'm gonna go in, right? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know?
You gotta take them small wins too. You can't just expect to hit it big. It's the small wins that are gonna lead up, and eventually, you know, the bigger wins are gonna be, you know, as big of a deal.
We sound like some
doing
football coaches, right?
281 blitz 480.
But I like this conversation, and I was happy that we could answer these questions, because these are all good questions. We're all good
most
friends. It's like
definitely.
definitely good something to. It's like it's something you want to have, but you never really get to. It's awesome.
No, for
But
sure.
I appreciate you guys watching the video.
Thank you guys.
There's gonna be more parts. Just stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Special guest Tariq, thank you for having us.
First podcast.
Or
Thank you for having me.
You for coming onto the podcast.
Yeah, thanks, bro, for real. And it's always a good time. It's always a good time doing this. Like, the main thing is we're not doing this to try to be famous or blow up.
It's just fun.
It's just fun, and you know,
it's good
we enjoy
to get things
doing
off your
it.
chest,
You know,
especially with your boys. Like, it's a good, you know, foundation to get things off.
Yeah.
Whatever problems we're having.
Hey, stream one call away.
One call away is out as well.
The snake is coming out.
One call away. my crib. Let's get rich. I like the way that you moving them hips. Side by side, grip your thigh. Don't waste my time. Don't pick up the phone. I know you all alone, all at home. Did what you did. Now that's why you on your own.
Yeah, it's 1 in the morning, baby. I'm in the stool. Yeah. This money was green, little baby, I turn it to blues. I'm getting the money and getting the views. If you not my nigga, then we is not cool. Apollo, I'm smoking, I'm up in the moon. Little bitch said she want me, take her to the room. Yeah, little bitch, I'm too fly. Little bitch, I'm too fly. Yeah, she want go to Paris. We go to Dubai. This chopper exploding on 4th of July.